Just as a reminder, dictators have military parades for their birthdays, not presidents.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It seems like during the month of June, the left just seems to want to jump in front of a camera even more. If they feel, I guess this month is kind of like their comfort zone, even if they're like, you know, not part of the LGBTQ community, they just feel like it's time for them to come out and play. So what we're going to be looking into here tonight is some literally extremely delusional woke women. Let's get into it.
Now that all the Palantir and Peter Thiel shit is on Maine and it's not just whispers in the fucking willows, white fucking fragility has burned this country to the ground. Full fucking stop. The final nail in the coffin, bitch. White supremacy, the patriarchy, the fucking poison in the blood of white people in this fucking country. Generation after fucking generation, we continue to fail. And this time it's even more embarrassing because we live in a digital age where information is available to you. We have way more lived experiences now. We have way more opportunities to listen, to learn, to think, to have a different fucking perspective. And we still choose the fucking path that is now going to burn this shit to the ground. Because white people have to be the fucking victims. If you're white and you're offended by me saying this, I'm sorry, but that is a you problem. As a collective, white people are the problem in this country. Not being able to step the fuck back and recognize that and do the work and fucking evolve, that's why we're here. Because people would rather choose white supremacy than their own best interest.
Today is hard. Let it be hard. And like Martin Luther King Jr. said, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way.
I would just like to have it on record that I did not, for 12 years at 8 a.m. every single weekday, look at some yellowing cinder blocks with an American flag hanging on them and say, for liberty and justice for all, only to grow up and be ridiculed and called a raging lunatic for asking for liberty and justice for all. For all.
At 7 a.m. I haven't even finished my coffee yet. I'm already starting fights with people on Facebook about trans people in bathrooms. I can never keep my mouth shut.
Biden never had open border policies. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Second of all, Trump had the same border policies in the years prior. Biden never changed the border policies from Trump's border policies. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're talking about. The border policies that were in place while Biden was in office, guess what? They're the same border policies that DJ had. Oh my God, his first term. That's crazy.
You know what I realized today? Something I never see in the parking lot of my local library is a Trump sticker or a Trump flag on any of the cars in the parking lot at the library. Which is, if you didn't know, where you can go to check out books, to read and think critically.
It's always funny when you have these debates with the incels, red pill bros, who think that they're better than women, that they make better leaders than women because they're bigger and they're stronger. They're like, even evolution makes us better. And I'm like, honey, look at your animal brethren. Look at the rams, look at the monkeys, look at the dogs, look at the cats, look at the birds. The only reason that your muscles are stronger are because you're filled with testosterone, so you can fight, sometimes to the death, with other males for the privilege of being able to mate with females. You're big and you're strong so you can fight other dudes, not so you can overpower us or because you're better than us. So that you can earn a good impression to mate with us, and so that you're not the loser dog who puts their tail between their legs and scampers off into the forest alone. You're big and you're strong so you can work to impress me. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget your place.
All right, I guess public service announcement to you feminists out there. You know, you real like far left feminists, the ones who literally think, hey, we didn't just want to be equal to men, we're better than men. You guys knocked yourselves down a few steps on the ladder. You're not the, I guess, the pool of women that most men are looking for. And it's not because men feel that you're out of reach. No. That's not it at all. Most men don't really want anything to do with a woman like you. So an absolute loon job like this girl. Now, we've had her on the channel a few times, and guys, believe me, she has gone way off the rocker. I actually have a clip that I've kept aside for about a month now. The only reason I haven't used it is it's 8 minutes long. I would literally almost have to dedicate like a video just towards her, but it's almost worth it because she's really exposing herself of just how mentally ill she truly is. But to you women out there that actually have this mentality of us men gotta look at it like it's a privilege to be with you. Hell no. No man wants a woman like that. I can't speak for all men, but speaking for myself, the type of woman that I want, the type of woman that I found is who I can have an equal partnership with. I'm not the boss. I'm not the one in charge. She's not the boss. She's not the one in charge. We make decisions together. We don't piss each other off that way. Not only is she my wife, she's literally like my best friend. And that is what most men are looking for, at least at an older age. Maybe when I was younger, no, I didn't want to have a relationship like that. But as I got older, that's what I wanted, and that's exactly what I found. I would never even give a feminist, she can be an 11 on 10. I would not give her the time of day. Now, in all seriousness, and I mean this, and not to like rate women, that's not what I'm trying to do here because I know that can come off as misogynistic, but I would literally rather be with a conservative girl that you would literally give her a 4 on 10 rather than a liberal girl that would be a perfect 10 on 10. Every day of the week, I would take the 4 on 10 conservative girl every single day of the week. You raging feminists out there, I mean, you ones that are really far, there's nothing wrong with a woman who wants to be a little bit feminist. There's nothing wrong with that. A woman who wants to be independent, there's nothing wrong with that. But you, the ones that are out there where we got to have this privilege to be with them, you guys have ruined society. You're actively right now ruining society. And the sick thing is, you guys don't care. I'm willing to bet you that this loon job that we just watched here, I'm willing to bet, and I've seen several of her videos now, I'm willing to bet that she is alone, that she's got no man in her life, and she would tell the world that it's her choice because no man has earned the privilege to be with her. I find it very convenient on the left whenever the subject of the male loneliness epidemic is brought up, and now it's turned into the conservative male loneliness epidemic, the Christian male loneliness epidemic. It's only brought up by absolute complete soy boys on the left or these feminist women. Very, very convenient. And I'm willing to bet with these feminist women, I'm really willing to bet this, no matter how much they would never admit it and how much they would deny it and how much they want to act otherwise, they are lonely inside. Very lonely. So they can put on this big old act all they want about how they are so great and so sought after, but they're lonely inside, they're feeling it. The truth is, they got nobody to blame but themselves.
Today I was at Walmart and this old lady with her little shopping cart stops dead center in the middle of the aisle and looks over at Walmart's like Pride section, which is the smallest Pride section I've ever seen in my entire life. And she looks at it with such disgust, like it was a performance on her end. She's like, ugh, ugh. She literally shudders. And I look at her and I'm like, grow up. You're gonna die soon anyway. And I walked away. I can't believe that I flat out said that, but also I stand by that, and I hope she thinks about me every day for the rest of the 3 years she has left on this earth. Like, everyone needs to grow up. You are 99 years old. Grow up.
If y'all got so much money and y'all upset about us being upset about losing government assistance, go find our absent ass baby fathers, okay? Some of us didn't ask to have absent baby fathers. You bitches be mad at every fuck.
I think a lot of you don't understand that what leftists are fighting for is for everybody to be able to live their lives how they want. Of course, within the confines of not harming others or harming themselves unconsensually. However, we want everybody to be able to express themselves and look how they want, feel how they want, and just be the person that they want to be. I do not understand why there would be an opposing party to this. What about other people expressing themselves how they want to express themselves upsets you and affects your life personally?
You know why Trump supporters don't like immigrants? They're smarter than they are. They work harder than they do. And they have ethics and values. I love my immigrant brothers and sisters. You guys do so much for this country. Thank you for all you do. And don't let these maggots wear you down. We need you. Toodles.
The male loneliness epidemic is hilarious because the cure is to not be an unlikable piece of shit. Like the sadness prison that you put yourself in, the keys are in your pocket, buddy.
Can someone please tell me why you would have a rally when you're president? Like, can we just call it what it is? Bunch of idiots gathering together to clap their hands about lies and stupid shit that some orange douchebag is preaching to them. Literally. Dumbest frickin' thing I've ever heard. How do you fucking live with yourself? You're so stupid. Yeah, I'm talking to you, all you MAGAs.
If you're white and you're worried that you're racist, I'm gonna give you the secret. If you were born in America, it's the default. It's not like it's okay to feel bad, but shame isn't gonna help. You were born into a society where literally the default is racism and misogyny. That's what you were like taught in your brain, in your growing brain, for everyone. And so your first thought is usually gonna be filled with racism. But you get to do a second one. You do a second thought next, and that one can deconstruct the first thought. But like, as a white person in America, my default is that most of the things I think are probably racist, and I have to take a step back and just be like, where's that come from? What's going on right there? Why is that joke? Why is that this? Why do I think that? It really helps. It really helps a lot. But that's what it is. Like, everyone is racist. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Wow, I thought you liberals are literally supposed to be the educated ones. She states, as a white person living in America, chances are my default thought is probably racist, but I don't know because I don't know any better because I've just been programmed that way. I'm racist from birth. What the heck is with you white liberals? Mostly white liberal women. What's with you guys and this fetish shit you guys have with racism? The only people talking about racism is you guys. Sure, we'll hear the black community here and there bitch and moan and whine about how, white people are so racist and white supremacy and all the rest of it, but not even half as much as you guys. You white liberal women, it's honestly quite entertaining, but you guys are literally the worst when it comes to this. Sometimes you'll see videos of saying, you know what, if a black person tells you something is racist, even if it doesn't make sense to you, you should just listen to them and take their word for it that it's racist. Majority of the people making these videos are white people. You guys really at this point kind of need to give it a rest. I mean, it's getting very repetitive. Just because you said it and you said it and you said it and it didn't work and nobody's buying your story doesn't mean because one more says it that all of a sudden we're going to be convincing you like, you know what? She's right. We are racist from birth. Why don't you guys try something a little different for a change? Like perhaps, I don't know, get a normal pair of glasses, maybe take that septum ring out, let your natural hair color grow back, turn off your TV for a while and actually eat a piece of meat and just see how that works out for you. You guys are literally like the glowing example of how easy it is to program the adult liberal mind. Like really, again, you guys always want to bring up education and how us on the right, how we're not educated. And you guys are so intelligent, maybe we should pick up a book sometimes. But how come we can see right through the propaganda that's laid out for us all to eat up, but you guys just can't? You guys literally sit there and just eat it all up. Why can't you guys ever just stop for a second? As she just mentioned, your first thought might be racist, but you can have a second thought. Why don't you guys use that second thought and actually analyze and say, hey, are these people on the right, are they actually correct about this? Should I just maybe give it a second thought? No, you guys just think that we're all conspiracy theorists, that we're all dumb, that we're all racist, and that we're all hillbillies. But the truth is, I've seen videos of hillbillies that have more brain power than you guys. So again, white liberals, please, I'll even ask nicely, please, let the people with the brown skin defend themselves for a little bit. Give them a chance to defend themselves for a little bit. Let them come out and actually put up together some videos. If things are really bugging them, why don't you guys give them a chance to say it instead of you guys always jumping on the front lines, assuming that you're protecting them all? You guys really need to give it a rest. You're really making the rest of us white people look pretty bad.
Jesus loves everyone. God loves everyone. That includes the gays. That includes the trans people. That includes BIPOC people. That includes immigrants. And unfortunately, that includes white cis men. And God loves women. Okay? God loves everyone. Everyone. That's like his thing. That's like Jesus's thing. So for you guys to put hate inside with the word of God, you guys are literally becoming the party that the Bible warns against. And I hope that you grow up and see the hypocrisy in what you're doing.
Happy Pride. Carry your iced coffee like this. I hope you get 8 from the back. I hope everything works out with your U-Haul. Throw bricks, go to drag shows, and don't take shit from anybody.
I'm not fucking kidding. I think Trump supporters are stupid, because why do I open the comments of every deportation video from Fox specifically, and every Trump supporter in the comments says Biden did this, not Trump. Biden's doing this, not Trump. Biden did this, not Trump. Biden did this, not Trump. Actually, are you stupid? Are you actually dumb, or what's going on? What's happening? Do you have like a brain? Is there anything going on in there? Is it just rocks? Is it just rocks? Because I think it's just rocks at this point.
Happy Pride to everyone except for my 7 children who have all betrayed me by being straight.
Maha is just propaganda to try to convince you that you don't need free universal health care, because Republicans don't want to give that to you. Why? Because they want to spend even more money on the military, not to protect our freedom, just for oil. And so they villainize doctors and hospitals and Western medicine and convince you that you can heal all of your ailments with a supplement or just going for a daily walk. No shade on walks, by the way. I go on my hot girl walk every single day. But sometimes we need Western medicine. We just do. It's reality. Not always, but sometimes. And the entire Maha movement is just rooted in greed, because they don't want to give you healthcare.
I lost my job today. Why? Because of MAGAs. Because of Trump and his garbage and those disgusting MAGAs. Thank you. I hope you all suffer because you deserve it.
Imagine a throat so sore that it feels like you're swallowing razor blades, and you keep coughing up bloody phlegm, and you keep getting nosebleeds, and you have such crushing extreme fatigue that you can barely even get out of bed, and you can't take any external stimuli, and you don't even know if you'll ever feel better for the rest of your life. Anyway, that's the case with this new COVID variant, but that's just business as usual, right? New COVID wave incoming, already spreading throughout the United States. That bitch COVID, derogatory in a man way, COVID's a man, not a woman, obviously, has been spreading all the time, but we are likely at the beginning of another summer surge, marked by razor blade throat, extreme fatigue, bloody phlegm, nosebleeds, obviously the fever. Symptoms will vary by person, obviously, but that is a hallmark symptom of this variant, people are saying. So I don't know about you, but I'm trying to enjoy my summer. I'm not trying to be a sicko. So what I'm gonna do to try to minimize that risk as much as possible, because fuck no, I don't want razor blades in my throat, so I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look good while I do it. Wow, what a concept. Wow. I do this when I share public air? Whoa! Whoa! Remember, kids, about 50% of COVID transmission is asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic, meaning if you don't mask when you don't feel sick, you could still spread it. Also remember, kids, you can do everything to a T to try to protect yourself and your community as much as possible, and you can still get sick, and that is not a moral failing. It is a failing on everybody else's part and on public health's part for not doing their jobs. And if you choose not to do your job by protecting your community and layering mitigations, may the odds be ever in your favor. Hope you don't get razor blade throat. Bye.
Okay, so here we go again, guys, with the COVID. Here we go again. You know, the funny thing is, in the liberal side of the playing field, it almost seems like they're excited about it. For the people that are so full of fear, they are already fear-filled. I have already seen videos of people saying, hey, you better stock up a mask before September. Just inside word I have, masks before September. So when the pandemic hit, it literally, it put so much fear into these people that they literally had us imprisoned in our own homes just to make them comfortable. But why does it seem like they're almost eager for another pandemic to come back? Like it's their comfort zone. They like when there's all these heavy restrictions and are being controlled. This really isn't normal. And again, I'm not going to get into any conspiracies about COVID here, but you know, just to cover myself, YouTube, this is just my opinion and I'm not going to lay out anything as fact at all. I encourage anybody and everybody that would be watching this video to do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. But when you speak to somebody who's on the right and you speak to somebody who's on the left about COVID, it's two extremely different conversations. People on the right are very open-minded. They can kind of see through certain things. Like say for instance, when COVID first hit, the symptoms that there were, and it wasn't airborne. And it had nothing like flu-like symptoms. But then you guys will notice within a year of like, you know, the pandemic, when that just became normal life to us, the COVID symptoms literally transformed into identical flu symptoms. And the funny thing is, out here in Canada, I think it was 2022 or 2021, I'd have to look back into it. On the Health Canada website, there was literally zero, not even one, zero reported cases of the flu in Canada. Zero. It's almost like the flu said, hey, COVID, you got this? Nice, thanks. I'm gonna pack up a suitcase. Tell you what, I'll be back in spring. And you got this for the winter, right? You're good? That's exactly like what happened. All of a sudden, the flu just took a year off for the first time in history. So again, you know, everybody on the left who's got incredible pattern recognition, as they claim, how are they not seeing that pattern, how slowly but surely all the symptoms changed and morphed into flu-like symptoms, and there was no cases of the flu that year? Truth is, they can't. They have a herd mentality. When they're full of fear, they don't have critical thinking. They don't have pattern recognition. They just go with the narrative. At first, no, N95 masks aren't helping you. Our essential workers need them. You guys are fine. You don't need masks. Oh, yeah, okay, you're gonna need a mask. We changed our mind on that. Now you're gonna need one. But by the way, we've clocked, even though we've never had it in a lab and we've never actually been able to contain it, but we know that, you know, now it's airborne, by the way, also. And it's 0.2 microns, and an N95 mask only stops 0.5. So what you might want to do is put on 3 or 4 of them and really keep breathing in your own air. Don't worry, this is only going to be like 30 days and life will be back to normal. In the meantime, though, we just suggest that, you know, perhaps you just stay like 6 feet away from each other, because that's cool. 6 feet works. Within 5 feet, you can catch something. We just need you out of touching distance. Stay away from people. It's probably best that you just don't talk to anybody. And we know that can be a little bit depressing, but don't worry about it. It's only going to be 30 days. And despite the fact that we've never actually contained it within a laboratory, so we don't actually know for sure, but we're pretty sure that when you go to a restaurant and you sit down at a table, you're cool there too, because what we discovered is that it's not contagious 5 feet and under, only 6 feet and above. The point I'm making here is life was pretty much, well, miserable for everybody, and there was so much propaganda. Even the scientists, you know, trust the science, even the scientists turned out, in my opinion, again, YouTube, turned out being extremely incorrect about numerous things in this situation. What blows my mind about the left is, even though that there's statistics that have come out proving things, and there's even actually something that was released in Canada, I think yesterday or today, about a certain pokey thing I'm not going to get into. Even when the evidence is there and there's statistics, because these guys always say they like to do their research, they like statistics, they like data. The data's there. How come they still believe the data that was incorrect? Look, honestly, when it came to the pandemic, the older people, the boomers, I expected their reaction. They have every right. Their immune system's a little weaker, they're older, they're not as in touch with information and whatnot as we have at our fingertips nowadays, because half of them still don't even know how to use Google. But what was mind-boggling would be the younger people. I'd be outside with my wife, walking our dog, and say 30 yards up ahead of us, I see there's a young guy walking towards us on our side of the street, and he's got no mask on. But then as soon as he's about 10 meters away from us, all of a sudden a mask comes out of his back pocket, he puts it on his face just to cross past us. I look back and he's taking his mask off again. I would see young couples, man and woman, in a car. You can see them the way that they're being with each other, you can tell that they're together, but both wearing a mask in their car together. So is this what they do at home? Are they sitting in their living room watching a movie with masks on? People that were driving their car by themselves with it on. It really just was a crazy time. I never want to welcome it back. I'm sure most of you don't either, but for some reason it seems like people on the left are almost eager. Not that they want people to get sick, don't get me wrong. They don't want people to get ill. That's not what I mean here. But they felt comfortable in that controlled, tightened, locked down environment. And they would almost welcome it back. And that's pretty disturbing to think about. So look, let's be honest here. What's the bottom line? There's a possibility that we have another COVID variant that's made its way to the West. There's already cases that have been reported in the West. Do I honestly feel like the government will handle it much better this time around? Yes, I do. I think we will have learned a lot from mistakes. I think that they will have learned that keeping kids home from school was a big mistake for so long. Locking people down in their homes did nobody's mental health any good. At the end of the day, it still spread everywhere. 6 feet social distancing didn't do anything. Masks, I think, were a little bit more of a mental cushion than it was actually being effective when it came to transmission. But we made it all through it initially. Will we make it through this one? Yes. Very confident, yes. I think it will actually be a breeze. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you guys like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If not, if you can like the video or share the video, that'll be greatly appreciated. And until then, I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
Every day, he proves how stupid he is and how bad he is at business. And people are still like, wow, greatest president. Mega! Honestly, you all are lucky that I'm not on here crashing out every single day, because what do you mean he's getting a gift of a 747 from Qatar? What do you mean they're cutting $880 billion from Medicaid? What do you mean he doesn't know anytime he's asked a question about literally anything? Well, I don't know. You're going to have to ask Rob about that. I don't know. You're going to have to ask Christy about that. What do you mean you don't know? You're the president of the United States. What do you mean you don't know? You should know. You should know. And the tariffs? The tariffs? That didn't work. And him being like, well, look at that. They worked because now we're putting them off for 90 days because it worked. Babe, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. You aren't going to win. You aren't going to win a trade war with China. China trades with everyone. Everyone gets their shit from China. Will it hurt them financially? Sure. But it'll hurt us way more financially. Because we don't have anywhere else to get the stuff that we get from China. Literally. Oh, well, we're just going to make it in American factories. Not tomorrow. Not tomorrow, you're not. Hello?